Hi. So today let's talk about a neutral pelvis and a neutral spine, because I'm mentioning it very often and I'm also referring to it as an centered alignment of the spine and the pelvis. We have a pelvis, we have a spine, most of us have two legs, so we have that in common. But the exact shape, how the bones relate to one another, that varies between you and me. So when we give instructions of how a neutral alignment or a centered alignment of the pelvis and the spine is supposed to look or feel, they are just guidelines, because your pelvis is shaped differently to mine, your hip joints are slightly different to mine, and your spine is aligned differently to mine. So they are guidelines. Now we are looking for a place of ease, where the least amount of force is impacting on these joints, or the forces that impact the joints are evenly distributed. So far, so clear? So neutral is a range, it's not a fixed point, and stability is dynamic, it's adaptable, it's also not a fixed feeling or place. So if I'm lying on my back in a supine position and I'm aligning my pelvis that it feels neutral to me, so I don't need to work much, I don't feel any tension front, back, around me, I have my pubic bone and the tip of the hip bones, the ASIS, about on that plane. So let's have a look. Yep, parallel to the floor. So that's a good indicator where my neutral is, and then within that there's a little spectrum, so it's not one place and I'm not fixing my pelvis in this place, but this is a good starting point. The lower back has a natural lordosis, that is an extension, and I'm maintaining that too. So if my pelvis is neutral or centered, chances are good that my lower back is also in a centered or in a neutral alignment. When we start to fix, we hold and we fix. This is not stability, this is decreasing the body's resilience. If you think of a tall building or you're standing on a tower and it's very windy, you feel that slight movement of the building. So it's stable, but it's still adaptable. We want exactly the same thing for the body. So when we're working with deep muscles, providing dynamic stability, we use very little strength. So if you want to join me and you're lying on your back and you find you're neutral, the sense where your pelvis is balanced and your lower back is in its natural alignment, you can place your hands on the pelvis with your fingertips in front of your hip bones. If you now completely relax your abdominals, it should feel very soft there. So not much happening. So if you're pressing in with your fingertips and you're engaging your pelvic floor, so this is this very slight yet clear sensation of drawing the sit bones together, pubic bone, tailbone, and then drawing up through the midline. It's very subtle, but it's clear. You feel a tensioning underneath your fingertips, as if a piece of fabric is pulled apart and it's getting more taut. So deep abdominals engage. You're working deep. If you now fully engage your abdominals, all you've got, you feel something pushing up, and that's your oblique abdominals. So decrease it again. Actually, let go completely. It's better to start fresh, soft, and then deep again. Pelvic floor, deep abdominals. That sensation that a piece of fabric is pulled apart. Now, with your transverse abdominals, your pelvic floor in good shape, you can lift one leg off the floor, keep the pelvis stable, Keep that sense of engagement in your pelvic floor and abdominals, and nothing is pushing up into your hands. So you're staying deep. If you are going one leg off the floor, feel the difference, and then you lift your second leg off the floor, your abdominals engage much more. So now you're using also your oblique abdominals to stabilize the lower back. Excellent. But a lot more strength now that's global, that's on the outside. So very often when we're working deep, or we are aiming to work deep, improve dynamic stability, a centered alignment of the spine and the pelvis, one foot stays on the floor, and everything is just a little bit deeper. It's not even less, it's just deeper. I hope that made sense. Thanks a lot.